Hey gang, what's up? Welcome back to another edition here of Intuitive Angling. Thanks for making some time out of your day to watch the video as usual. It's always much appreciated. And back by popular demand, we are going to give you guys the 5 worst baits that you can throw in the month of August. You know, last month we started this. Every YouTuber out there always has their token, the 5 best baits for August. So I thought I'd do a little bit different and tell you guys the 5 absolute most suckiest baits that you don't want to waste your time with in August, and might save you guys a lot of time on fishing stuff that isn't productive. Real quick before we get started in the video, just wanted to give you guys the week reminder. If anybody out there is interested in becoming a channel member, it's one of the best things you can do to help support the channel here. And as a channel member, you get additional videos every week that aren't seen by the public. Some memberships have access to my personal email address for your personal fishing questions. And if you're interested in doing that, just go to the About section of my YouTube homepage, click on Intuitive Memberships, and it gives you all the information for that. Much appreciated. Okay, guys, let's get into this a little bit here. You know, August is a big transitional month in bass fishing. I mean, you got a lot of different stuff going on. You still have fish that are really scattered out all over the lake. The water temperatures are still super hot. Sometimes they're the hottest they've been all year. But every single day, the daylights are getting about 2 minutes shorter. And part of that biological cycle of the bass, you know, they really relate to the shorter or longer days in transition into different patterns and stuff. So I'm going to show you guys the 5 baits that you do not want to fish in the month of August. I'm not saying you can't catch a fish on them, but I think you're wasting your time if you fish a lot of them. Okay, starting out, let's go with the deep diving crankbait. Now, a lot of people may say, man, summertime's a great time for deep cranking. Yeah, you can catch some fish deep cranking, but guys, normally a deep crankbait is going to be best in early summer or midsummer. Like, it's, to me, when I think about deep cranking in the summer, it's like after those bass have come off the beds, they're starting to get in those early summer patterns. That's the best time to fish a deep crankbait. But you will find as the month of August moves on, you're going to catch less and less bass on a deep diving crankbait, so I would not recommend it. Next with that, as far as offshore structure, guys, we talked about this last month. I'll include it this month. Keep your Alabama rigs in the box. You know, again, you might pick up a fish here and then on it, but for the most part, bass just do not bite Alabama rigs very good in the month of August. There's not really sure why it is, because, you know, the shatter schooled up in August in various depths, but for some reason, you just don't hear much about Alabama rig in August. I mean, I would not recommend it. Another one out there, guys, that you don't want to waste your time in is a glide bait. This is a custom-made glide bait by Rod Hallman, made for me. The thing is freaking awesome, but in the month of August, not just this glide bait, but any glide bait or any big swim bait in the month of August just is not very good. There's something, again, about the mood and the personality of the bass that they just will not react to a big glide bait very well. And like I said, every one of these has exceptions, but I'm telling you guys, if you fish these baits that I'm telling you, you're not going to catch that many fish compared to other stuff. So keep your big glide baits in the box. The next one is a floating worm. You know, the bright colored floating worms like this, they work really good in the pre-spawn, the spawn, and the post-spawn. And then again in the fall time of the year, early summer when those fish are just getting off the beds. But in the month of August, guys, a floating worm is terrible. Don't waste your time with it. Fish are not going to react to it for very good. Believe me, I have tried, because I'm a floating worm fanatic. And it's something you don't want to fish in the month of August. And the last one is a Ned rig. Now, let me preface this first. A Ned rig is killer in August if you're fishing for smallmouth up north. If you're in a smallmouth fishery up north, disregard this, because a Ned rig is a killer in August. But for the rest of the country, guys, you know, mid part of the country down south, a Ned rig just doesn't catch many fish for me. I just have not done that good on it. It seems like I can catch more fish on a drop shot or shaky head, but for something about me in the month of August, a Ned rig is just not very productive. And if I do get bit on it, it's usually by some really small fish. So anyway, guys, that's my favorite, or my 5 that I would recommend don't waste your time on. Put your big deep cranks away. Don't fish your big glide baits. Forget about the Alabama rigs, and don't throw the floating worms or the Ned rigs. I think that if you keep those out of your boat during the month of August and try some different techniques, you guys are going to catch a lot more fish. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Much appreciated. We'll talk later.